Hi everybody, welcome to our Enact Live. My name's Helen, I'm from Enact and I'm Assistant Director. It's great to have you today. We've got 30 minutes and we're going live on all platforms, and the theme of today's session is productive conversations. I've also got a wonderful facilitator with me, Joe. Joe, if you could introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the work you've done with Enact.
Sure, thanks for joining us. My name's Joe. I'm a facilitator with Enact Solutions. I also help to develop material, and I've been delivering these learning strategies for a good few years now. Yeah,
you've done a number of different sessions with us, including productive conversations, and that's where we're going to start today. As you know, we use drama, we work with actors, and what we're going to do today is get straight into some dramatic content. So we've got a scene, we've got Rowan and Sam, and they're having a attendance meeting. Sam's been off work a little bit. It's in a healthcare context, and Rowan's got to speak to her about what's been going on. Let's have a look at what we're dealing with. Okay, let's go straight into the scene.
Right, well that's me. Gin o'clock is calling. Oh, that CR2 form is going to send me over the edge. But I've finished it now, so that's something. I'm going to get off unless you need me for anything.
No, okay, that's fine. I'll sort those case notes as we discussed as well. Should be done by Monday.
Lovely, thank you. Actually, I do have 10 minutes. And do you want to do the attendance chat now?
Okay, yeah, can do. Although we could book in some time next week if that's any better.
Yeah, we could. But no time like the present.
Okay, yeah, let's get it done now then.
Yeah, well it won't take long and then we can get off. And then it's not on your mind, is it?
No, you're right. Although I'm not sure I'm comfortable sharing my personal...
Oh, no, don't you worry about that. It's just between us. We'll get these boxes ticked and then we can leave it there.
You're right. Let's just get it done.
Let me grab the list. Here we go. Absence form 1, informal chat. Name, date, reason for... actually, I think looking at it, we might be longer than 5 minutes. I'll whip through it as quickly as I can.
Sounds good to me.
So, it says here that you've been off for 8.5 days in the last 10 weeks. Is that right?
Yes. If you remember, we did the return to work meetings. The dates should all be in there.
Right, okay, let me get those. Can I check that after we've had this chat?
Yeah, okay.
Fine. I mean, I will find it though. It is in here somewhere. Sorry about that. So how are you doing?
Yeah, much better, thanks. It feels like things have gotten a bit easier. I feel like I'm beginning to manage the...
It's tough, isn't it? It's tough. But are you feeling better?
Well, not better, but not terrible. It's just now and then.
I don't mean to pry, but the last time you rang in sick, you did say that you had really bad anxiety.
Yeah, it's something I've struggled with for a while now.
It's awful, awful. I've got this friend of mine that's actually going through it at the same time, and she can't even go to the shop for a pint of milk on her own. But listen, you don't have to give me all the details. You probably don't want to give me them anyway. But there are some things that we can do to help you. So we've got counselling, OC health, mental health assessment.
No, my doctor has referred me. And like I said, this condition isn't new to me. I'm dealing with it.
Okay, well good. Well, let's get this signed and we'll see how you're doing in a few weeks. Right, well, not so bad after all, was it?
Oh, okay. Thanks, Rowan. Is there anything I need to do?
No, all looks good to me. Come on, let's get out of this place.
You go, I've got a few things I need to tie up.
Oh.
Okay. So we've just seen that scene there in a fictional healthcare environment about an attendance process. Obviously, every organisation has a different process. We're just showing one example here. We've seen the scene. It was interesting, wasn't it? I'm going to actually check in with each character as well. They can't hear each other, by the way. But what we often do in sessions is check in and see what's going underneath for the characters. So I'm going to come to our manager, Rowan, first. How did you feel that conversation went?
Well, it was all right. They're always a bit awkward, aren't they, these kind of chats? So
Right.
I just wanted to get it over and done with as quick as I could, for her sake, not just mine.
Right, so you wanted to get it over and done with. How do you feel after that now?
Well, it just felt a bit, I guess it did feel a bit rushed, and I don't know whether I helped her out, I don't know, so it's difficult to gauge.
Okay, so we're feeling a bit unsure as to how it went.
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
I didn't really know what to say, to be honest.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it can be difficult. Obviously, we're dealing with sensitive issues, aren't we? I'm going to ask you to step out, Rowan, if that's all right. I'm going to have a check-in with Sam. Sam, you've just had that conversation. Talk to us. How are you feeling afterwards?
Well, it kind of caught me off guard, to be honest. I knew that we had to have that chat, but I wasn't expecting it at that time.
Right. Is there anything that's concerning you after that conversation, or before it even?
I mean, I've been worried anyway because I have had some time off. I'm worried about my job and I guess whether or not I'll lose it, really.
Okay. So you are quite concerned about your job could be at stake here. You've had a few days off. Okay, so we're dealing with quite a complex scenario here, which I'm sure that other people might have experienced as well. We might define this scenario as a crucial conversation. I'm going to ask Jo to talk to us a little bit about the theory in relation to crucial conversations.
Thanks, Helen. Crucial conversations. So Patterson et al. Have written the seminal book on the subject by the same title, the title being Crucial Conversations. So there are three main elements that are recognised to a conversation that becomes crucial. That is high stakes, that is an emotional charge to this conversation, and also a difference of opinion. So if we refer back to the scene that you've seen and our two characters of Rowan and Sam, Sam's already shared with us that she's concerned about the security of her job given these absences. And of course, Rowan has a job to do. This is a performative, target-driven environment, and she has to get these processes done. So there are thoughts, you've had your own observations there, but what do other people think? Come and join me, Helen.
Okay, I'm joining you now. I'm here. So what we did ahead of this live is we put some polls out there. We wanted to get your perspective. Okay, so we put some polls on different platforms. Have you ever avoided having a crucial conversation? You can see the results there. 75% of people have said, yes, we often see that in sessions as well. We positioned another question here. What topics are most challenging when it comes to crucial conversations? The top one was mental health, which is actually why we've coincidentally constructed this scene today, because obviously we're touching on elements of mental health here within this crucial conversation. Productivity was also at 40% as well on that one. The next question that we positioned was about the barriers that people face. The top barrier was lack of confidence. Okay, lack of confidence. And we saw a little bit of that when we spoke to Rowan as well about how they thought it had gone. Okay, so we do have something that we think might help. We've got a model here called RASA, which Jo's going to tell us a little bit about.
A strategy coming right at you along with an acronym. RASA. This was popularised by Julian Treasure, and all of the links to this information are going to be attached to our project as well, so you can dive in there and look for a deeper understanding. But the RASA model is a simple, effective model in order to turn a crucial conversation into a productive conversation. R simply stands for receiving. This whole model is about active listening, not just listening to words and asking the simple questions, but we're looking at receiving the information. Appreciating, showing appreciation for the information that is given. This can be verbal or non-verbal affirmations. It could be something simple as mirroring. This needs to be authentic. Show up, show an interest, because pretending to be interested, let's face it, can get a little bit creepy. We also need to be careful of the intensity of this. So summary. the summary aspect of this gives us an opportunity to check our understanding. So have I got this right? So is this what we're talking about? And then summarise in your own words what you've just heard. Gives us the chance to check our understanding, gives the person we're talking to the opportunity to correct us or to fill any gaps in our knowledge. And ask simply as it is. Ask clean, open questions and wait for the answers.
Okay, thanks Joe. Okay, so we're going to have a look at how we can put that into place. So I want Joe to go and join the rest of the team, if that's okay, over in the corner over there. What we're going to do is we're going to replay that scene. We're aware that some of you might be joining us now, so you're going to get a chance to see that scene again. We're going to speed it up a little bit. We have got wonderful actors and ability to do that, so let's do that. Okay, let's jump back into the scene. This time, when you're watching, think about what would you like to see Rowan do differently? How could she improve? And have the RASA model in mind as well. So let's jump back into the scene for a replay.
Right, well that's me. Gin o'clock is calling. That CR2 form has nearly sent me over the edge, but it's done now, so that's something. I'm going to get off now unless you need me for anything else.
No, okay, that's fine. I'll sort those case notes as we discussed as well. Should be done by Monday.
Lovely, thanks for that. Actually, I do have 10 minutes. Do you want to do the attendance chat now?
Oh, okay. Yeah, can do. Although we could book in sometime next week if that's any better.
Yeah, we could. But there's no time like the present.
Okay, yeah, let's do it now then.
Yeah, well, it won't take long and then we can get off. And then it's not on your mind then.
No, you're right. Although I'm not sure I'm comfortable sharing my personal...
Don't worry about that. It's just between us. We'll tick those boxes and then we can leave it there.
You're right, let's get it done.
Right, let me grab the list. Here we go. Absence, form 1, informal chat. Name, date, reason for... Actually, looking at it, I think we might be longer than 5 minutes. I'll whip through it as quickly as I can.
Sounds good to me.
So it says here that you've been off for 8.5 days in the last 10 weeks. Is that right?
Yes, if you remember, we did the return to work meetings. The dates should be in there.
Okay, let me get those. Can I check that after we've spoken today?
Yeah, okay.
Right, I will find it though. I know it's somewhere. It's sorry about that. So how are you doing?
Yeah, much better, thanks. Things have gotten a bit easier. I feel like I'm beginning to manage the...
It's tough, isn't it? It's tough. But are you feeling better?
Well, not better, but not terrible. Just now and then
Sorry, I don't mean to pry, but the last time you rang in sick, you did say that you had really bad anxiety.
Yeah, it's something I've been struggling with for a while
It's
now.
awful. I've got a friend of mine who's going through it at the moment. She can't even go to the shop to buy a pint of milk on her own. Oh, but listen, you don't have to give me all of the details. I mean, I don't think you'll want to do that anyway. But there are things that we can do here for you. So we can do counselling, OC health, mental health assessment.
No, my doctor has referred me, and like I said, this condition isn't new to me. I'm dealing with it.
Good. Right, well, let's get this signed and we'll meet up in a few weeks' time. There. Wasn't so bad after all, was it?
Oh, okay, thanks, Rowan. Is there anything I need to do?
No. All looks good to me. Come on, let's get out of this place.
You go. I've got a few things I need to tie up.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay, so we've just seen that scene again. Okay, note your observations. What did you think? How did it make you feel? Okay, what could Rowan do differently? And that's what we're going to start with now. We're going to look at what Rowan could do differently by using a technique called forum theatre, where we're going to stop the action and make an intervention that will hopefully achieve a more positive outcome. And we're only going to change the character of Rowan. And we're going to try and encourage Rowan to use the RASA model. Usually in sessions, we would ask people for suggestions. If you have any, feel free to send them over. But, you know, a bit Blue Peter style here. We've prepared some earlier, okay? But we'll see what we get as well in real time. So I'm going to ask Joe and the rest of the team to set up now for some forum theatre, implementing the RASA model. Okay, thanks, Joe.
Ready, team? Let's start the scene again.
Right, well that's me. Gin o'clock is calling. Oh, that CR2 form has nearly sent me over the edge. But it's done now, so that's something. I'm going to make a move now, unless you need me for anything.
No, okay, that's fine. I'll sort those case notes as we discussed as well. Should be done by Monday.
Lovely, thank you. Actually, I do have 10 minutes. Do you want to do the attendance chat now?
I'm going to step in here. I'm going to stop the action. Excuse me, Rowan. I'm sorry for rudely bursting in. I'm not sure how you're feeling on the other side of the cameras there. I can sense a little bit of bristling because this RASA model requires receiving information. Yeah, being ready, available and open to hear what's been shared.
Okay.
How ready do you actually feel right now for this?
I'm in between stepping out of the door, being in work, so I suppose I'm in a bit of a...
It's another thing you've got to get done today, isn't it?
Well, it is, really.
Yeah.
So I need to get it ticked off.
I understand, and we picked up on that, didn't we? But in order to apply this RASA model thoroughly, to receive this important information that Sam's got there for us, we need to be ready for it. We've got actors in the room, which usually means we can create just a little bit of magic. If you're not prepared and you've just got to dive in there and get these things done in your day-to-day work environment, then we get it done, don't we? But how about we apply some of our showbiz magic to this situation? You've already planned it.
Okay.
Yeah, so yesterday or the day before, maybe even at the beginning of the week, you arranged this meeting with
Right.
Sam.
Okay.
Yeah. You've got your paperwork together, good to go.
Fine.
Do you want your
Okay.
chair?
Fine.
So let's pick it up from there with a slightly amended version to help the RASA model. Go for it.
Sam, we mentioned yesterday about perhaps catching up today about the having the attendance chat. Is that something you're still all right to have?
Sure, I'm ready.
Oh, right then, good.
It's sounding better already, isn't it? Did you actually see Sam's reaction? Smile. Yeah, I'm ready. So, Helen, where do we take this from here?
So I've got some suggestions. I hope that you're ready, Hayley, for my
Right.
suggestions, because yeah, there's quite a few words here. But we've got to sort out how we frame this meeting. She's done a good job to introduce it. So actually, my first one is, obviously it's a really important meeting, isn't it? So I want you to make loads of eye contact.
Okay.
I want you to tell Sam that this is a really important chat and that we need to get to the bottom of what's been going on. I need you to tell me everything. That's the line. Hayley, have you got that?
Yeah, I've got it, I think.
Great. All right. Thank you. Let's see that in action.
Okay. So, Sam, this is a really important chat here today, so I'm glad you've agreed to have it. We need to get to the bottom of what's been going on. So, maybe in your own words, can you tell me absolutely everything? Start from the beginning, just off you go.
Well,
Just have a look at her face. Now, you're doing well here, Rowan, in that we're getting closer to being in a situation where you can receive all of this information.
I took the instruction.
Yeah, you did. You pre-organised the meeting,
Yeah.
you laid out your expectation, you explained what's going on, and you did actually give Sam the opportunity to tell you stuff.
Yeah.
Sam, how did that feel?
a bit intense, really.
So perhaps we went just a little bit too far the other side.
Okay, so tone it down.
I'm trying to say that in a polite way, toning it down, and simply give Sam the opportunity to talk. You're a manager, it's your responsibility to sort things out. You want to fix things, but you know, sometimes best approach is do less, give us space. Yeah. Let's go from there.
Right, so thanks for having this meeting, because it is really important, and it's not going to take long. There are some questions that I need to ask you, some specific ones, and there are some questions that perhaps I need to give you to fill in after this meeting. So if that's something that you can do, that'd be great. How are you doing?
Yeah, much better, thanks. It feels like things have gotten a bit easier. I feel like I'm beginning to manage the sort of workload.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But are you feeling better?
Yeah, I'm going to step in again and stop this for a second. Rowan, you're getting the hang of this now, aren't you? This RASA model.
I feel a bit stumbly, but...
Well, you know, it's a crucial conversation and there is emotion on it. You know, we're a little bit nervous here. What I noticed was you established the boundaries, you asked some open questions, and Sam started to give you some information. You're receiving this information now, part of the RASA model, but something I noticed, because you're really keen to help. I know that about you, Rowan. You're a helper, you're a sorter, you like to do things. So you dived in.
Yeah.
You interrupted her.
I wanted to show her that, you know, I wanted to show empathy,
Yeah,
really.
of course, I totally get it. Sometimes doing less is doing more. So
Okay, so...
just have that strength to sit back. I know it's nearly gin o'clock. I know that gin's calling.
Yeah, it is.
But just have the strength to do less. Create space, create time so that you can receive the information. Because you create space and time, then Sam will fill that space and time with this important information.
Okay, so just to
let her
keep
talk.
quiet and let her talk.
How you doing? Yeah.
Can we just go back then, if that's all right? So, tell me, how are you doing?
Yeah, much better, thanks. It feels like things are getting a bit easier. I feel like I'm beginning to manage the workload versus home life. I feel like I'm going to be able to come back to work a little bit more going forward.
Oh, right. And actually, I don't mean to pry, but you know when you rang in sick the other day and you mentioned that you had really
Thank you.
bad
I'm just going to
anxiety?
stop there. You can see this, can't you? You can actually feel it. There's rapport building because you created space. You
Yeah.
just received the information. I saw a little bit of appreciation there too
Okay.
in what was being shared back. So we're starting to open it up. But the more space you can afford to give Sam, the stronger we're going to be. So where can we take it from here? Do you have some suggestions, Helen?
Okay, so we're doing really well. We've laid out the purpose of the meeting. We're ready to receive the information. Now we're actually going to jump to ask, because we want to ascertain a little bit more potentially from Sam. If it feels like someone's not opening up, perhaps a useful, curious, open question. I think Rowan was starting to drift into her own agenda on the last take of that scene. But if we could just ask a simple question, can you tell me a bit more? We could even try and gather more information. Can we just try that?
Right. Okay. Let me just get my mind together. So, so how are you doing?
Yeah, much better, thanks. It feels like things are getting a bit easier. I feel like I'm beginning to manage the sort of workload versus home life. And I do feel like I'll be able to come back into work a little bit more going forward.
Right. Can you tell me more?
Yeah, my anxiety, it's something I've been struggling with for a while now. And it manifests itself in sort of different ways, and it can be quite unpredictable.
Oh, it's awful, isn't it? Awful. I've got a friend at the moment who's going through exactly the same thing. She can't even
Here
go
I
to
am
the shop
again,
for a
Rowan.
pint.
I'm just going to stop you down there.
Oh.
We could see it, couldn't we? The application of the RASA model is opening this conversation. You're saying less, Sam's saying more, you're receiving more information, and asking that open question really did give you the opportunity to share how you're feeling. So this is really coming together. But what I noticed was you're talking about your friend.
Yeah, she's going through a really difficult time at the moment, so I wanted to let her know that she wasn't
I
going
mean,
through
we care about your friend. We've never met your friend, but who's this conversation about?
Sam.
Did you get me?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So she's not interested in my friend, is she?
Well, she might be interested in your friend, but right now this conversation is about supporting Sam.
Fine.
And
Okay.
do you know, it was pretty close to empathy
Okay.
there. You know, from an appreciate situation, we know where you were coming from.
Right.
That there's different ways of showing empathy other than taking it off the subject, isn't there? Yeah.
Okay.
So Helen, where do we go now with this?
So, as a suggestion for appreciate in this moment, we can reflect back and say, oh, that sounds difficult. Thanks for being so honest. There are things we can offer in terms of support, which is where we're moving into the ask space as well. So we've got a little bit of appreciation, and then we're going to use a question as well. How would you feel about me talking you through those? Just to repeat that, Hayley, so you've got it.
Thank you.
Sounds difficult.
Yeah.
Thanks for being so honest. There are things we can offer in terms of support. How would you feel about me talking you through those?
Fine, got it, I think.
Thank you.
Wow, it sounds difficult. I mean, thank you for sharing and being honest about it. There are things that we can do, things that we can offer in terms of support at work. And how would you feel about me talking you through those?
Yeah, okay.
Right, okay. So we do have, we've got counselling, OC health, we've got mental health assessment.
No. My doctor has referred me. Like I said, this condition isn't new to me, so I am dealing with it.
Well, good, good. Well, let's just get this signed and then we'll meet up in a few weeks' time then. See? Wasn't so bad
Thank you,
after all.
Rowan. I'm going to step in there, stop the action for a minute. So the application of RADA so far, we've seen receiving information, we've seen appreciation of the information that's been provided. We've seen you asking open, clean questions and leaving space. From your perspective, Sam, how different does this version feel to the first version of this meeting?
Well, for starters, I feel a lot more relaxed, and I do feel like I'm being listened to now.
Yeah, we can see it in the body language on camera as well, that you do look to be more relaxed. And you as well, Rowan, you look to be more relaxed.
Actually, it's making me feel like I'm a bit more in control of where it, you know, I'm feeling more confident.
Now, endings of these conversations can often be, quite tricky. So, Helen, what suggestions and advice do you have us to take it from here?
Well, okay, so we're on to the summary stage, and this is where I've got a little challenge actually for our actor, Hayley. I hope you're ready for this.
Be kind.
So, I would like you, as a challenge, to summarise what Sam said to you. Okay, if you can, in a few sentences, some things that might be helpful to start that sentence could be, just so I've got this right, or just to check that we're on the same page, and then just relay what Sam has said to you. Okay?
Okay.
I'll leave that with you.
Fine, thank you. So, again, thank you for sharing it and being honest. I'm just going to recap, just so that we're on the same page and make sure that I've got everything right. So you've explained to me that you've been suffering with anxiety for some time now, and I've explained that there are some measures of support that we can put in place if that's something that you want to move forward with. But you've also said that you're not ready for that just yet because you're speaking with your doctor and you're receiving help from the doctor. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Right, good. Well, wasn't so bad after all, wasn't it? Right.
I'm going to step in there, Rowan. I just saw this creation of trust and rapport. I mean, these are still very important considerations. It's not the easiest conversation to have, but applying this model here, Rowan, you've turned a crucial conversation into a productive conversation. But ending these conversations can be a challenge, can't it? We've got a bottle of gin waiting for us, or whatever's waiting for us at the end of a busy day at the office. So, Helen, what's your suggestion on closing this conversation?
Okay, we're already getting there actually. When Rowan said, does that sound about right? We were checking in there, but that was kind of part of the summary, but we were utilising ask. Perhaps, though, we could try it again with a question to finish off. Is there anything else? Just keep it simple. Let's see what happens when we ask Rowan that.
Okay. And we'll check in about a week. I mean, how does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
Well, actually, yeah. While a couple of people in the office know about my anxiety, I'd really rather not make it common knowledge, if you know what I mean.
Right, okay, yeah. I see where you're coming from, and I did say at the beginning that it was between us and it will stay between us, so please don't worry about that at all.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Right, well, let's get out of here then, shall we?
You go. I've got a few things I need to tie up.
Oh, right, yeah, fine.
Thank you so much. Rowan, congratulations.
Smashed it, heading for that gin.
There you are, it's waiting for you. So an example, a live example of how applying the RASA model to a crucial conversation can quickly turn that around into a productive conversation. You know, it's not going to suddenly take away any conflict that might be around, but it's a way of managing our expectation and gaining confidence in the way that it's delivered. So thank you so much to our actors. We have Rhiannon here, who was providing us with the Sam character today, and Hayley was giving us your Rowan.
Yes.
I've been Joe. It's been brilliant to spend some time with you. Over to Helen.
Okay, so that is bringing us towards the end of our Enact Live for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you've taken something away from that 30 minutes of exploring productive conversations and the RASA model. We are going to post a link to the TED Talk, which features Julian Treasure, which is what this work has been essentially based on. So check that out. But if you do have any comments or questions, feel free to contact us. Check out the website and our socials as well. But bye for now. Thank you.